Hey guys, Jeremy here from Level Up Roadcraft in Katoomba. We now have keyrings. Yes, we do. If you go to leveluproadcraft.com.au, you can purchase yourself a keyring. Maybe you just want to say thanks to the channel for giving you all the information for free. Maybe you just love what we do. I don't know. You don't have to, but if you'd like to, jump over to leveluproadcraft.com.au and buy yourself a keyring. We will ship it out to you. Second thing, 1,000 subscribers. Oh my God, I can't believe how much support you guys have given. Thank you so much for subscribing. But 1,000 subscribers means we can now do live streams. Now that means that I can do a Q&A live. If that's something you're interested in, please put it in the comments down below and I'll do a live stream where I can answer your questions and talk to you live on the air. So that might be something you guys want. Third and foremost, we need to talk about how to deal with cyclists on the road. So when you come across a cyclist in your peace test, do you go around them, do you not? Let's go jump into the studio and talk about that now. Whether you consider them the bane of the roads or the holier-than-thou saviours of our environment, there are a few problems with cyclists. The first problem we have is the speed difference. When a cyclist is on a flat, they're normally doing about 20 kilometres an hour, and when we're driving in a residential road, we're normally doing 50, and this means we're going to have to overtake them at some point. Second of all, is cyclists have an inability for some reason to follow the road rules. Every hole is a goal to some cyclists, and motorcyclists too are just as bad at this point. So, if we are looking at this road in particular, we're travelling up this road up the hill, and we're sticking on the right-hand side. Now, the reason why we're doing that is because we can see the hazards that are walking down the grassy hill on the right-hand side, but we cannot see the people who are about to step out of the cars on the left-hand side. So we increase our buffer to the left-hand side. Now, a cyclist or a motorcyclist decides that, well, that's a hole, it's a goal for me, and they come up through that gap. Now, they're doing a couple of things here. First and foremost, they're introducing a hazard into our buffer space, into the space that we're putting there to be safe. They're taking our space away from us. The second thing they're doing is they are putting themselves in a position where if someone steps out from those cars on the left-hand side, they have almost no time to react. The third thing they're doing is they're actually blocking their ability to see to the right-hand side because the cars that they are illegally passing on the left are blocking their vision, and that introduces no reaction time for hazards approaching on the right-hand side. Third and foremost about cyclists is their inability to be aware of what's going on around them. Yep, it's really simple. If you're on the roads in a car, you need to have a mirror and you need to do head checks. But if you're on a push bike, you don't need to have a mirror, and most of them will never do a head check, which means that they have a very low awareness of what's going on around them most of the time. However, we have solutions to these cyclists and things we can do, especially if we encounter them on our peace test, to actually successfully get around them without losing any points. So the first thing is we can overtake them. Sometimes we're going to have to go over double white lines. Now, if we're going to go over double white lines in an overtake, there are a couple of things we have to make sure we do very carefully. The first thing is make sure there is enough space to complete the overtake around the cyclist and re-enter your lane without affecting oncoming traffic. That means you need to see quite a few seconds up the road. It could be 10, it could be 20 seconds up the road, depending on the terrain and the corners and all sorts of stuff. So you need very clear space in order to overtake. The second thing we need to do is we need to make sure that we indicate and we head check before we move out across the line, and we make sure that we indicate and head check when we move back across the line. So in this case of double white lines, we are allowed to overtake around double white lines because the cyclist is considered a hazard, and we are allowed to cross double white lines for these following reasons: to enter or exit a property, in order to avoid a hazard, or to avoid an obstacle that may be blocking the road. So we are allowed to go over double white lines only if we make sure we have enough space, we indicate and head check on the way over the line, and indicate and head check on the way back. And when we overtake that cyclist, you need to leave them at least 1 meter space. So, if you can give them a little bit extra space because you have that space to oncoming traffic and everything, be kind to them. And third point is be kind to the cyclists that are good. There's only one way that we're going to make the cycling better in Australia, and that is to treat cyclists who respect the road rules, the ones who pay attention with their head checks, treat them kindly. And unfortunately, whether we like it or not, there are some combinations. Maybe it's going up a hill and turning a corner, or maybe it's just that you can't see far enough ahead to get to the overtake. you're going to have to be patient, okay? No one's going to care if you're 10 seconds later than if you'd overtaken the cyclist. Sometimes it's not going to make that much of a difference. So be patient, all right? If a cyclist waves you through or head checks and sees you and gives you some eye contact, or you can clearly tell that they're adjusting their position to help mitigate their problem of speed differential between them and you, be grateful, okay? They're few and far between, those cyclists, and we need to look after those ones because they're the ones that will keep talking to other cyclists saying, hey, I don't have a problem. I just follow the road rules. Everyone's really nice to me, right? So anyway, I hope that answers your questions on how to overtake a cyclist on your piste test. If you have any comments, put them down below. My name is Jeremy from Level Up Roadcraft in Katoomba.